What's up, guys? Welcome. This is a special game. Hope you're excited for it. We got a 4v4, which I don't always bring to the channel, but not just a 4v4. We also got some big names in here, and combined with that, we also have a map where the starts are not so standard, okay? So, right off the bat, we got one team on the left side, so going from player 6 all the way to player 8, and another team on the right side. So you have two players in the front who are very close together, of course, and then your team spawns further back as we go. This is very atypical. This is abnormal from normal Age of Empires 2 maps, and I like it because it allows players to scheme up and do some different things, all right? Of course, in the front, the front position, we have Red Phosphoru, which I'd never seen play a team game before. I'd never seen him play a team game, at least like in a 4v4. And of course, I'm always keeping an eye on his games, and I saw this. He was Romans on the front, so we know he's probably going to do something crazy. Real quick, we've got a lot of talented players in this game. Here we've got Tigger. Tigger's really solid, playing as the Georgians. In the red, we have Rooster, really good player as well, playing as the Khmer. And then in the orange, we have Silver Star. I mean, all of these guys, most of these players, their team game rate is on the right side. They're in the top 100 of team games. They're playing team games a lot. And many of them are also close to, the top 100, top 200 in the world, and 1v1s if they play them too. All right. So, on the other side, we've got Envy. Envy is a Mexican player, also really good. I think like 2,300 in 1v1s, playing as the Huns. In the gray, then we have Slam, who probably needs no introduction, but really good player, good friend of mine, casted for some big events with me. He's playing as the Mongols. In the blue, we got Snow. Snow I don't know too much about, but Snow clearly very talented as well. And then we have Development, who I also see play team games a lot on the back, playing as the Georgians. So, green gets the lovely opportunity, the lovely, what's the word I'm looking for? Privilege of being up against Phosphoru. And so I was wondering, is Phosphoru going to play normal? Right? Because, before he did the all-in strats, he was a lower-ranked player who was playing normal, right? We talked about that many times in my videos. Well, he's picked the Romans, and spoiler alert, he's going to do what he does now, okay? Very forward gold, by the way. Very awkward to do this. He could be attacked by multiple players. And then it's it's a 4v4 now. The low eco approach might not pay off. You might need a little bit of support as well, right? And so that's where it gets interesting on this map. I was thinking maybe we would have yellow support with scouts, and maybe the players in the backside go for the dock approach. And that's another thing that's exciting about this map, is you can have players dock and fish boom. So you got blue walk to villager all the way to the back. Blue's going to get some fishing ships out. Teal's going to get some fishing ships out as well. I think this is optimal. I think both these players are close enough to justify it. Obviously, for blue, it's a little bit of a hike. But being the Italians, especially with the cheap fishing ships, I think it's probably nice to have a little bit of extra eco back there. Now, if you're in Phosphoru's position, or if you're in the front two spots, I don't think docking makes sense. I do think the other players should think about it, though. But not, the exciting part about this game isn't going to be the fact that we've just got Phosphoru in a team game. That's obviously exciting, and it's going to bring us a lot of fun. But, the other aspect is how these teams open. So, look at this. We've got 19 population click up from Silver Star. And so, Silver Star has not docked. One villager on gold. So keep an eye on that, okay? Because we've got two villagers coming forward. We've then got Rooster. Rooster's on the way up. Again, no dock. Super fast uptime with the Khmer. And so Rooster's got some plans here too. And then we also have Tigger's clicked up. I think I said Tiger earlier. Tiger, whatever. I don't know. He's a big Tigger fan of it, possibly. And all the scouts for Phosphoru's team, or Tigger's team, coming to the front. You could see Slam and Envy now kind of working together here too. But the way Slam and Envy's team are playing this is a bit more along the lines of what I would expect. You have the back two players go for more the economic approach, and then the front two players go for army. Slam, he's seemingly planning for scouts, and then the forward player playing archers, which, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense, because if you're on the front, you've got the slower unit. Makes sense to go with the slower unit if you're on the front as opposed to the back. So there's a lot of scouts around right now. This is pretty crazy, right? The entire team for the left side all teaming up here against Envy and Slam. Green had to get a quick wall down just to complete the barracks. I mean, Green's got to be really careful. Is this stressing you guys out? Trying to determine who's on which team here? Basically, Gray and Green, they're in trouble, okay? Gray and Green, they're in trouble with their scouts. The yellow scout went a little too far. Maybe Phosphoru's here to help. Green scout goes down. Slam added a spear, though. Slam scout goes down. And there's the archer range and some spearmen for Green. So all the scouts are going to need to back away for now. Phosphoru. Market Blacksmith. But look at the teamwork here. We had Silver Star from the back position walk forward. Go double archer range. And also is building houses between Phosphoru's houses. So they've got coordination here. You also have yellow going scouts. So it's going to be a lot of support here for Phosphoru, who needs gold for this strategy, right? Like, Phosphoru is going to click up the Castle Age. And again, just to give you an idea of, like, how this is not normal, right? You're going to see some communication from the other team here. They're trying to figure out what exactly Phosphoru's up to. And Teal says, oh, he doing his thing. So they weren't sure what he would do, but they see Market Blacksmith and they know his thing is going to be Scorpion. So I assume everyone knows what his thing means. But we've got Rooster here with scouts as well. The only one I didn't mention, Rooster's stable is back here. Double stable scouts from Rooster, so we can get the scout numbers out fast. But the economy is not as good, right? Now, other things to think about. We've got like a big old Stonewall here from development, so he's expecting pressure to come in there eventually. So he's thinking long term. And also we had galleys, so I think he's also expecting them to have fish. And for that to be important. Maybe he stopped galley production now. Slam's going to support with scouts. Green's going to be going archers. But there's a lot more army for Tiger's team at the moment. And Green, I feel for you, bro. There's way too much pressure to deal with on your own right now. And does lose the villager, but drops the tower. And for now, is doing okay. Let's remember, the weakness of Phosphoru is the fact that he doesn't really produce more eco. Okay? So if you stop it, then it's a 4v3, essentially. Okay? And I think there's a very real chance they could do that if Teal and Blue come into the game eventually, because they all have fishing ships, especially Teal right now. Teal, with the Georgians, has 8 fishing ships. But here we go. All this army coming in towards Green. I would hate to be Green right now. Green is going to have an awful time against all this army. And Silver Star teaming up with Rooster, teaming up with Tiger. They're all here. It's only Slam. It is only Envy for this team. And you could tell, I mean, they're trying to dance their way out of this. Use the threat of the tower and all that. But they've done a good job, all things considering. But unfortunately, they're just lacking the numbers right now. And unfortunately, Phosphoru is coming. Now, what I haven't talked about yet is the team bonus for the Khmer, okay? So Romans have the cheap Scorpions. But the Khmer have a team bonus, which gives them +1 range on their Scorpions. And so this is perfect for Phosphoru, who wants to go for these Scorpions. So now he's got 8 range to work with. And here we go, just kind of rolling on through. Green's going to have nowhere to go pretty soon with these villagers. Has to pull off of gold. And there goes Phosphoru, just walking with 2 villagers right through all the army. Now, big moment here because Blue's in Castle Age. And Blue has Knights already. So this was a bit of a fast castle play from Blue. We're expecting that Blue and Teal are going to come in here. And Knights are a bit of a worrying sign against a bunch of Feudal Age units. And it looks like Slam is going to chase down Yellow. Yellow probably won't do too much damage here, but we'll see. And Blue's going to try and keep Green alive. Like, Green could be killed off here. Phosphoru is repairing the ram. Loses the repairville. But there's another vill there. That villager goes down as well. Really starting to force the issue here. And the ram will not go down. Will not stay up. But that is a lot of Scorpions. The Slam is killing off Yellow, by the way. And Teal's telling the team, hey, I'm going Manaspa. And everyone knows, like, Manaspa, everyone seems to think it needs to be nerfed. It's a really strong unit. Plus, this player is going to have fishing ships. Here, I'll actually show you real quick. Actually, maybe we should... Hold on a second. Maybe we should pause. look at the difference in resources collected here. So, like, the very back player, Silver Star, down 1,600 resources compared to what Teal's been able to do. And as you guys know, like, that's only going to grow for Teal because Teal still has more eco than Orange. So, the key right now against this type of push is patience and stalling to the best of your ability. But what is green supposed to do? This is crazy. There's like 8 ranged scorpions here. And these scorpions, by the way, they will kill knights. They will absolutely kill knights. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you get a big, massive knights, you get up to like 15 knights, it's different. But this is going to be wild. And because of the nature of the map, Phosphoru is very close to green. And now Phosphoru is very close to Slam as well. And Slam doesn't really have any army right now. So, they're not going to go for the TC. They are, however, going to try and take out the wood line. And Blue knows this is not something he can allow. Blue's going to try and run through here. Now, no bloodlines on the knights. That would be a good upgrade to have. But, you know, the armor's in. And it's still a lot of feudal age army out there. So maybe there's some hope the knights could do something. But poor Green, man. Green is not going to be excited when this video hits YouTube. Green just getting completely smashed. And again, like, I don't know what more Green could have done. Except for ask for help. Which is apparently going to come at some point. Now, Blue did a good thing. Blue picked off the reinforcements. That means that the death ball doesn't get, you know, as crazy. But Blue's going to need to find some real damage here. Phosphoru, of course, just villagers walled in on the wood line. Villagers walled in on the gold. And there goes Blue. Teal has the castle, is starting to make Manaspa, is going to have 20 fishing ships behind this. Like, has a really good boom going. But Green is fleeing right now. You don't see this every day. Green is actually leaving. And guys, at this level, even at this level, I love the fact we don't have any complaints from Green. I don't expect it at a high level. Like, Green's going to have the game sense to understand, especially because of the score. Like, they could still actually win this game. But, like, you know, your average team game, I don't think people are going to enjoy being in Green's position. And especially if for, like, low and midi-low, there's a lot of whining in these situations. So, I respect Green a lot because Green didn't say a thing. And Green just kind of understands, okay, Phosphoru's all in. If I just hold on, maybe my team can do it. Slam's in Castle Age now. Slam's dropping a castle behind here. And the next target for red, the next target for orange, the next target for purple would be Slam. And so here they go. They don't see the castle, and now the castle's up, so now they're going to need to find another target. And Blue has continued to try and get some damage in here. I actually really like what Blue's done here. I know that, like, maybe those knights could have been useful here, but it does feel like it slowed Phosphoru down to have to focus on all this. It looks like Phosphoru is going to lose a villager through the palisade, maybe. Yellow didn't reinforce either because of all this, so... I mean, if Slam didn't have a castle, if Slam didn't have walls, it'd be different. But I can understand what Blue is trying to do here. And now Blue's going to come in and try and just snipe any of these scorpions. But there's 20 of them, guys. Like, this is insane. And so you're probably thinking now, like, what do you make against this? Phosphoru's going to lose Vils, by the way. Big deal. Phosphoru's going to lose Vils. Phosphoru's down to 15 Vils. And no Vils on gold means no more scorpions. But what you do, as Slam answers my question, is you go for mangonels. So Slam, I don't know if he's trying to scream or if he just has caps lock on. But he says, 1 mangonel, you know? And the thing is, if it's regular scorpions, yes, 1 mangonel could work, but you have to be careful because these actually outrange mangonels. I don't think Slam is trying to scream. I think he just has caps lock on in an intense moment. And he says, don't die, use mangonel. He saw the mangonel fire on the ram, and he's saying, hit the scorpions. Here comes some of the Manaspa, trying to get in close on these scorpions. And Teal got way too deep. I think Teal, you either got to commit to fighting there, or you just don't go in at all. Teal's Manaspa. There's just so much army, right? It's like the Scorpions have 13 kills. The crossbows have 15. The knight support from yellow is really good. And you're going to see what happens with these Scorpions against the Mangonels. Mangonel gets picked off. Slam's still under a whole lot of pressure. Yet, even though Green is just now rebuilding the TC, they actually have a better position economically. Slam's got a castle. Slam's going to be making Mangadite. That could be really strong. Plus, he's Slam, okay? Teal. Maybe hasn't taken the best of fights yet, but the eco's going to start flying here. We see Georgians going up. Georgian fortified churches going up right now to add to the worker efficiency there. We got fishing ships everywhere. And the Scorpion count is somehow rising for Phosphoru, who is pretty much just selling wood at the market for very bad prices right now. If they kill these Scorpions, it is basically a 3v3. But Green will be back in the game with economy eventually, and boom, there you go. Scorpions take out another Mangonel, and Slam can't believe it. They've had like 4 or 5 go down now. And Slam initially was saying 1 Mangonel. Now he's saying 3 or 4 Mangonels. Which is hilarious. This is not a situation they encounter all that frequently. Love the play from Reds with supporting the amount of Knights that are here. I love the play from Yellow to mix in the Monks to help out with healing and any conversions. And Slam realizes, I could die here. I need a panic castle. There's the Mangonel behind this. Now, Phosphoru's not looking at anything else because he doesn't have anything else. But he does lose a lot of Scorpions. The population's looking a bit better right now. And Slam's not going to lose his TC. That's a big blow. I know that Blue lost all the Knights. But let's remember, Phosphoru does not have much of an eco right now. And Green actually has an economy. Is playing a standard game. Now, again, I love Green. Green is stonewalling for the team. Green signals these Manaspa and says use. Like, Green is not going to have high score at the end of this game. But I just respect you, NB. I respect you a lot. He plays a lot of team games, so he's always on the ladder. He probably knows these players. This is smart. Like, what you don't want is you don't want Knights to be running into the back here. It looks like they already have from Yellow. So I like the amount of teamwork we've kind of seen from both teams. The initial team wall as well from Phosphoru's team was really good. So, you know, now, guys, this kind of turns into a somewhat standard game, but look at Yellow. Yellow added a bunch of docks here in the north. And funnily enough, is actually just not expecting Teal to be docked in the north here with all the fishing ships, but is going to recognize that the weakness for their team has been no fish. Starts to hit Teal's fish. As Phosphoru and team, they are going to be trying to make a move through over to Slam. The Slam is not incorporated into these walls. Now, Slam's got 2 castles to produce Mangadai. So that's good. But Slam's economy... Ooh, I must have switched the screen at the bottom right. Slam's economy is not great. He has 71 vills, which is actually higher than anyone on the other team. But he needs to get upgrades. Actually, his economy's fine. His economy's fine. He needs to get the upgrades right now. There's a lot happening. Blue's not going to be happy that the fish got killed off. And Blue might want to make a switch at some point out of Knights. Slam advancing forward. Big moment for Slam. Could maybe deny this castle from Yellow. And just got there a little too late. That was risky from Yellow. Yellow's got very little army right now. The Slam will advance forward with his Mangadai. And now his TC is getting eaten by Knights, and by Rams, and by Scorpions, and by Crossbows, and by Monks. It is a team effort here. Every single player on the team is here. But now Slam's over at Phosphoru's base, and Phosphoru's still at 15 vills. And now, these 3 villagers are running away. They're on berries at 32 minutes. This is so satisfying for Slam to kill those vills. Oh, man, killing a Phosphoru villager is just... It just feels so much better than killing any other villager, let me tell you. You know there's not going to be many, so... Blue's up to 14 Knights. Still waiting to see if Teal comes in with Manaspa. I think Teal's trying to regain control of water right now. And it's just been amazing coordination from Tigger's team here. I mean, they've always had this army together. It's crazy ratios, right? The Monks there to heal and convert. The Crossbows and the Scorpions together. But Slam, he still has his Mangadai running around, and this is going to distract this team more than they've been distracted this game. Army's going to have to come deal with this. And so we could see a bit of miss micro here, potentially. We're going to have Manaspa with full armor. We're going to have Knights with full armor and full attack. They won an engagement here. Here comes Slam as well. Remember, Green's going to be back in this game eventually. Green's got way more vills than Phosphoru. They're thinking about an engagement. This is crazy. We've got 7. Well, all 8 players really here. Well, no, 7 because Green's not. Meanwhile, Slam's Mangudai still around. Red's got to look at that. Total game really close. Total team population's pretty much identical right now. And Teal trying to run in with the Manaspa. Backs away. They're going to wait for the siege. They might take this engagement. If they could take out the Scorpions with the Mangonel shot, that would be so satisfying. They take out 3. Also, it seems like the other team left the hill. This is something. This is a moment for them. This is an opportunity. The monks will go down for yellow. And blue's got a lot of knights. The Manaspa are going to come in from the other side, and they're going to engage on this, finally. And there's a Mangonel coming in from the left-hand side as well. Slam has the Mangudai to the north. And man, just what a game this has been. Like, this game has been incredible, guys. And finally, Team Slam is going to clear this up. They're going to have a population lead. They only had to lose town center after player to get there. And they get the job done. Yes. Crazy stuff, right? Now, meanwhile, we do have Silver Star on the way to the Imperial Age. We do have Rooster on the way to the Imperial Age. So that's something that they're going to have to be worried about. Slam still has Mangudai around, and Teal has been able to refocus on water. I think for Teal, like, those 19 fishing ships, you don't need to fish trap with them at this point because you have a lot of vills. So they have done enough. And Phosphoru is out of the game, guys. Like, Phosphoru is going to start to add farms, but he's got 9 Scorpions, which are all, like, going to just die. Yellow can't do anything now. Well, that's not true. You know, Yellow's going to be able to have some Manaspa here, but, like, Green is going to come back into the game, which is kind of the big thing I want to, you know, keep stressing here. And it's just about to get the resources to click up to Castle Age. So it's kind of similar in the 1v1s against an all-in player who doesn't add eco, where I always say if you survive, you're fine. That's kind of the same thing in this situation. So Yellow's already in Imp, by the way. Apologies if I didn't mention that. I think I mentioned he was on the way. I don't think I did mention he's on the way. Anyways, doesn't matter. Trebuchet's here. Slam really needs to keep his castles up. Manaspa are not elite yet. Yellow has 90 villagers, which is solid. Obviously, it's going to get better behind this, but probably not enough to get consistent Manaspa production out of multiple castles. Yellow pretty much has to decide between Trebuchets and Manaspa out of this castle right now, and it's obviously gone for Trebs. Now, Scorpions are still here from Phosphoru, so he's doing his thing, and he's just going to boom. And then we got Red getting double crossbow and starting to stack castles here on all the stones and golds that are in the map. There's a lot of gold down here towards the south on this map. Really important area. And we actually have Silver Star also starting to wall this area. Like the other team, we also have Teal building outposts. Like, they know that the north will be a factor at some point. Now, sorry to look away from, like, the main fight, but there's a lot of different elements to this map I want to make sure that I break down. And if you're going to trade on this map, you're probably going to trade all the way to the east or western corners. Or you could trade from, well, you could trade from the north to the west or the north to the east. Or, of course, you could go down towards the south, too. Slam, 2.5 minutes away from the Imperial Age. And Slam is using the safe TC, so Slam will likely make it to the Imperial Age. But Slam's got all these Mangudai. No bloodlines, by the way. That could hurt. But they need to find an engagement against this. I think if they engaged right now, I think they could maybe do it. It gets tough, though, because Orange is here, and Orange is also Mongols with Mangudai, and Orange is in the Imperial Age. Crazy armies on our screens, though. Blue kind of losing track of the army there. Blue's going to be interesting because, again, it's like being the Italians, do you continue with Cavalier? Rooster has gone for Cavalier, but Rooster is also going to go for Ballista Elephants with double crossbow and is going to have elite. Rooster's economy is insane. Like, crazy farming eco. Relatively untouched this game. Didn't add a single fishing ship, and still life is good somehow. So obviously, it feels like they're buying time here. Still waiting for Teal to get that big number of Manaspa. It feels like Teal's focusing a lot elsewhere, but Teal needs to really ramp up the production. I'm not seeing these castles produce right now. The resources are there, and Elite Manaspa's in. So I'd like to see Teal get that population up. Red gets some crazy raids in on Slam. Slam down to 90 villagers now. Still no bloodlines for the Mangadai. And we'll see if he can afford Elite Mangadai. If they lose this hill, Blue could lose everything as well. Behind this, though, Blue's going to go for Genoese Crossbowmen, which are so good. Like, Genoese Crossbowmen may be the unit for them. Maybe better than Manaspa, better than Mangadai here, because as a bonus against Cav, they're pretty good against Mangadai and against Manaspa. And against the Elephants, they should be all right. But look at how Rooster has expanded down here. Crazy castles from him and Silver Star. And they don't really need trade because they can just take the gold. Also, in the north, Silver Star is going to start to add stables. Going to start to raid up there. And finally, Slam's going to lose this position. I mean, Slam sunk so much stone into repairing that castle. And he's going to have to escape with those vills. They're kind of being cornered, right? There's not a lot of areas to go for gold right now for Team Slam. They need to really bank on getting some trade going. Green, if you're wondering, starting to add stables, starting to go for knights, and trying to wall this off. So Green's trying to go for trade right now. And Green's got way better economy than Phosphoru. Maybe not way better. But adding trade and having, more villagers is certainly a big deal. And here we go. Big fight. Big fight. They had the fight they needed before. They're going to try it again. We got some Manaspa looping in to try and snipe off the Scorpions. The Mangadai here are doing their best to take out the Halps. The Scorpions have still been kept alive here. And again, the big thing is these are elite Mangadai. Slam's Mangadai are not elite, and they do not have bloodlines. That's a big upgrade missing for Slam. He is now getting elite Mangadai, though. But now there's Ballista Elephants here, too. It's 150 army for the Western team. And in the north, Silver Star's through, or at least he was almost through. But still, there's a lot of random armies out here attacking, and this is going to be really annoying. Green's going to have to clear that up. Even though, Phosphoru, kind of fell into reboom mode, he's still been producing Scorpions for the team. He's still microed these Scorpions well. And it has consistently been really nice teamwork for these guys. I think if the Scorpions aren't in the picture, the Genoese have a much better time. But the Genoese are going to struggle, and the Genoese are kind of melting. Again, I can't help but feel like this is just because of the distraction. You've got Red making a big snowball push against Slam. Slam needs someone to deal with that. The Slam trying. He does take out most of the Scorpions, so maybe the fight could be better. But Yellow moving forward with more Trebs now. And you got a lot of army up here now that isn't really helping the main fight. There's going to be more of a threat coming through. And they realize they've lost too much ground. And the GG's called. Pretty crazy, that game. I mean, 4v4s always are crazy. But then to combine that with how this game played out with the all-in from Phosphoru and Green kind of being killed off and having to reboom. Just the layout of Coastal Forest, the water element, the land element, it was pretty tough to follow. I hope you guys were able to follow it. But when I saw this game, I was like, this is one of the craziest team games I've seen in all year, honestly. And I want to see more. I want to see more. Can we get a Coastal Forest tournament? Really fun map. I think maps that force players out of their comfort zones, maps that have different roles than just flank and pocket can be really good for the game. I was thinking about this too, right before I covered it. I was trying to think, okay, what went wrong for the losing team here? And, obviously Green, I think Green just dies. I don't think there's any way you can avoid that. I think that the boomers for the team, Development and Snow, needed to have a slightly better game. That's basically what I came back to. Not that they had a poor game by any means, but they needed to have a little bit more, especially Teal. I think there were points where maybe Teal could have had a few more Manaspa out in the field. As I continue to look, like right here, it's 107 eco against the other players. They're sitting at around 60. So certainly at this stage, you're thinking this player is going to be playing catch up a little bit with production. And maybe part of it was the fact that Yellow came over here. Yellow had an amazing game. I think like for the next 5 minutes, it did seem like Teal was really focused on adding ships. You can kind of see it from the production at the top. So it was adding ships this whole time to try and deal with that. Once that was dealt with, Manaspa started to be added. But by then, Slam had lost the TC and everything else advanced. I don't know. It's really tough. It was super cool, though, how you had differences in eco and military counts. Usually, it's both teams have, the same build orders. So they're going for the same military, and then they also have the same economic counts. But here, we had one team going for the military, one team going for the eco. So anyways, good game. Sorry, I didn't realize the team game version is kind of bugged here. It's not the end of the world, but we're missing some of the stuff at the top. This is the KD, though. Pretty self-explanatory. Silver Star did a great job with kills this game, as did Phosphoru, as did Tigger. It was not a great game for blue, not a great game for green, not a great game for teal as far as the kills are concerned, but maybe that just had to do with the units they were up against. There's the economy. Again, teal had a lot of eco this game, but a lot of that was wood in all fairness. Food should be the second one, and that's where Rooster really dominated. I mean, look at the food, gold, and stone count there from Rooster. Rooster was flying. And obviously spent that as well. Like, spent that on lots of knights. Spent that on the ballistas, too. So it was just such good support play. You had Phosphoru kind of setting them up with the early attack. And then after that, you had all three players constantly supporting the entire time. There was a couple moments of worry where Slam got through and they had raids to deal with. But even then, they were always supporting the team. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave a like if you enjoyed the cast. I've been waiting to cast this one for like 2 weeks now. So happy to finally sit down, now the time to do it. And all week should be hand-selected content. I always try and make the content the best, but this week should be special. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And see you next time.